different substrates and substances that block absorption or digestion. We already talked about fiber, how that makes a physical barrier between your enzymes and the food. So it can't break down the food into amino acids in the first place, or into short chain fat, or into shorter portioned out fatty acids. And then once those things are broken down, this is a physical barrier from those nutrients getting to the border of your intestine to be drawn into the cell in the first place. So those get blocked and taken out. But more specifically, just looking at soy and wheat, they make a protease inhibitor. Protease is released from your pancreas to break down protein, as it sounds. Something like ASE, that means it's breaking something down. So protein breaker or downer. And then protease inhibitor stops that. Okay. So soy and wheat have protease inhibitors that block protease from breaking down our protein. Protein that's available in, or that exists in plants, are not available necessarily. Gluten makes up 80% of the protein in wheat. Gluten cannot be used as protein. Your body cannot break it down. It cannot absorb it. It cannot use it as protein, period. It has protease inhibitors. So what little is left of the protein in wheat that your body can actually do anything with. But also, if you are eating meat with this very bioavailable proteins and fats, when you're eating it with wheat, like in a sandwich, or you put some croutons or something, or bread chicken, what you're doing there is you're going to block protease from breaking down the meat as well. And so you're actually going to, again, waste nutrients, waste nutrition, and that cannot be beneficial to our survival. So that cannot be what we're supposed to eat. Soy does the same thing. Soy has protease inhibitors as well. And there are many, many others, and many other examples of these nutrient blockers. There are many plants that actually cause us to be much more sensitive to sunlight, and others that just increase inflammation, increase damage. So we get some damage from sun, and that increases that inflammatory response and damage. So our sunburns are worse, they hurt worse, they damage our DNA worse. And so we get worse peeling and at higher risk for skin cancers and things like that. But specifically, the things that cause you to be much more sensitive to UV light are things like limes. Limes being an unripe fruit, its seed is not ready to be eaten. It has defenses. It has defense chemicals. This is where, like, green tomatoes come from. These are traditionally known to be toxic, and you don't eat them. You want them to be vine ripened. In a lime, it secretes oils on the outside. That if you touch them, if you handle them, they will soak into your skin and it cause you to be very, very sensitive to sunlight. And there's actually documented cases of people getting second-degree burns. There are other things that will also do the same. There's a thing called celery dermatitis, where people who handle a lot of celery, pick celery, eat a lot of celery, will get very, very sensitive to light. They'll have to wear hats and long sleeve shirts and even gloves and put sun cream on everywhere, because they will just get absolutely scorched in the sun. You talk to any carnivore who's been doing this for a while, they're amazed. They don't get burns in the sun. You might get red. That's just blood going to the skin, but that just turns into a tan later. You're not really going to peel or damage your skin unless you really overdo it.
DoctorsToTrust.com, the world's #1 site for short annotated nutrition videos, 100% free.